Good morning. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Good morning.
My name is Rabbi Josh Winston.
I'm Cantor Regina Chayut.
It's an honor to be here with you this morning to celebrate Shabbat. Celebrate, please. It's okay. To celebrate Shabbat, but also, of course, to celebrate Daniel, and on the occasion of becoming a bar mitzvah. A word about our service, and specifically about our Siddur, about our prayer book. So, there are two versions of the same prayer book out there. One of them has two sets of page numbers at the bottom. If you see two sets of page numbers at the bottom, you will be following the blue bracketed page numbers when I call them out. So page 192, if you'd please open your prayer books to that page. Page 192. Page 192 and 193 actually function as basically a two-page spread. That will be true for most of our service this morning. On page 192, at the top right-hand side, you see the Hebrew to the prayers. Most of the time, the cantor and I will be reading or chanting or singing from the Hebrew. To the very left of that is transliteration. So even if you can't follow along in the Hebrew itself, you can still follow along in the service as we make our way through it. So please do use that transliteration if you need to. Underneath the transliteration is a translation of the prayer. It is not always a literal translation, but it's a good translation. It gives you a good sense of what the prayer says. On page 193, on those odd pages, usually there are actually two English readings here. Of course, there's only one on this page. Both of those readings, when there are two, are creative writings based on the themes in the Hebrew prayer itself. So even if you know the prayers well, sometimes a creative writing can give you a different sort of access, a different frame to understand the prayer from. So I encourage you as we make our way through the service to utilize the entire prayer book, regardless of how well or not you know the service. On both pages, there's a sort of faint graphite line at the bottom, and there are notes underneath that line. Sticking to the odd pages, these are usually kavanot, intentions to fill our prayers with, sort of sticking with the theme of the creative writings. So on those odd pages, these are usually intentions to help give our prayers more meaning. And on the even pages, these notes usually point us to the source material for the prayers themselves. So if you count up 4 lines from the very bottom, it says, Ma tovu, how fair, Numbers 24, verse 5. That's referring to the very first line of this prayer. It comes from the book of Numbers, chapter 24, verse 5. So if you're interested in that sort of thing, you can find the notes there at the bottom. And we have in the back where you grabbed your prayer books, there are also Torah commentaries back there. If you want to grab one of those and do some research for the next hour and a half, you can do that if you'd like. So that's there for you if you're interested. I for the most part, I do call out page numbers, but occasionally I don't, just to keep the flow of the service going. So how are you going to know which page you should be on? If we're just turning one page, sometimes I don't call out that page number. So how do you know when to turn the page? Well, we'll stop singing or chanting or reading, and when that happens, just turn one page. That was the best laugh I've ever gotten.
I was going to say.
But it makes sense, doesn't it? So just turn one page. If we're skipping pages, which we do sometimes, or there's something else that's funky that's happening, I'll let you know where we are. Don't worry. We'll all be on the page sooner or later, same page sooner or later. Okay, now, my favorite part. If you have, not if, I mean everybody in this room I'm sure does, or at least, all but maybe two of you, has a cell phone with you. Take it out, please, right now. Do not silence it. Please do not silence your phone.
No, really, take out your cell phones.
Take it out. Don't, turn it.
We're okay with this.
Take it out. Take it out. Don't silence it. Turn it off. Like, just turn it completely off. I was thinking about this. I don't know why I was thinking about this the other night, but like, at least with the iPhone, they've made it progressively harder to turn off your iPhone, right? At
That
first,
is true.
You just had to hit one button originally.
Except by accident, which I am always doing.
Yeah.
Never on purpose.
But now you have to hit two buttons on the new ones and slide the thing. Yeah, so they're trying to make it harder for us to turn off our cell phones.
So that gives more intention to this moment.
I like it, yes. Turn them off because, for those of us who are old enough to remember what it's like to only be available to the people that are right in front of us, let's get back to that for at least the next hour and a half. And if you're not old enough to remember that, it's an amazing feeling. Just be here right now with us right now. Because the next hour and a half is, regardless of one's religious persuasion or not, is an opportunity for a spiritual experience, I hope. And I'm pretty sure the only thing that's required to have one of those is being present. And the more that you can be present here with us, the better. So don't do it for me. Don't do it for Daniel. Do it for yourself. Turn your phone off for an hour and a half. It'll be okay. Okay. Have I gotten everything?
I think so.
Okay. There's a sermon in that they're making it harder to turn off our cell phones. I'm not sure what it is yet, but it's there.
I'll look forward to when we figure it out and you offer those words. Until then, I'm excited that we're going to be offering these words.
Yes. Page 192, we're already there. Matovu.
Matovu. Matovu. Ohalecha Yaakov. Bishkenotecha Yisrael. Matovu. Matovu. Ohalecha Yaakov. Bishkenotecha Yisrael. Ani berok pastecha. Avon beitecha. Eshtachave lichal kodshecha. V'yiratecha. Matovu. Matovu. Ohalecha Yaakov. Mishkenotecha Yisrael. Adonai ahavti me'on beitecha u'mekol mishkan kevodecha mishkan kevodecha ani eshtachave ve'echra evrecha lifnei Adonai osi Matovu. Matovu. Ohalecha Yaakov. Mishkenotecha Yisrael.
continue reading together a prayer for our bodies. Praise to you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who formed the human body with skill, creating the body's many pathways and openings. It is well known before your throne of glory that if one of them be wrongly opened or closed, it would be impossible to endure and stand before you. Blessed are you, Adonai, who heals all flesh, working wondrously. Baruch atah Adonai, rofeh chol basar, umafli la'asot. Having said a prayer for our bodies, now a prayer for our souls, page 196.
Elohai neshama shenatata bi tehorahi. Elohai neshama shenatata bi tehorahi. Elohai neshama shenatata bi tehorahi. Elohai neshama shenatata bi tehorahi.
Elohai
neshama shenatata bi
Elohai
tehorahi. Elohai neshama shenatata bi tehorahi. Elohai neshama shenatata bi tehorahi.
On page 198, we begin a series of blessings that our Siddur calls Nesim B'chol Yom, blessings for everyday miracles. And these blessings, in some communities, it's still the case, but were originally intended to be said in the home as a person was getting ready for the day. And so you can see on the side of the page in the margin, it says in small print there what the prayer is pertaining to. So for awakening, for vision, for the ability to stretch. Things that I think probably most of us, maybe not all of us, but I bet most of us took for granted this morning. That you opened your eyes. That you got out of bed. That you put clothes on your body. Things that we probably didn't think much of. And the Jewish tradition in this series of blessings says, no, stop. Don't just think of those as mundane moments. Those are miracles that you got to experience. Those are miracles that you must be grateful for. And so our cantor will help us chant through this series of blessings and tell us how we're going to do that together.
So we do this in a particular way to help us to more deeply embrace or understand the meaning of each of these blessings in succession. And so what we do is we chant the first two lines in Hebrew, and then we jump down to the last line of each of these blessings in English, most of the time, which begins with the word who. And most of these blessings are universal, although a few towards the end are particularistic. So, and the melody is very simple, so I invite you, as you are comfortable, to join in on any or all of these blessings.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who has given the mind the ability to distinguish day from night. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who opens the eyes of the blind. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who frees the captive. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who lifts up the fallen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who stretches the earth over the waters. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who strengthens our steps. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who clothes the naked. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who gives strength to the weary. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who removes sleep from the eyes, slumber from the eyelids. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who made me in the image of God. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who has made me free. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who has made me a Jew. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who girds Israel with strength. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who crowns Israel with splendor.
And then on the top of page 204, a blessing for the study of Torah. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu la'asok b'divrei Torah. And so having said a blessing for Torah study, we have to now study something on page 206 from the Mishnah, from the first book of rabbinic literature, essentially. Elu devarim she'ein lahem shi'ur she'adam ochel perotehem ba'olam hazeh v'hakeren kayemet lo la'olam haba. These are things that are limitless, of which a person enjoys the fruit of the world while the principle remains in the world to come. And I like to translate that English into, when we do these things that are about to be listed, yes, we get benefit from them in this life, but the spiritual residue of doing them stays with us for eternity. And so, if we could read together, beginning on the fourth line in the English. They are honoring one's father and mother, engaging in deeds of compassion, arriving early for study, morning and evening, dealing graciously with guests, visiting the sick, providing for the wedding couple, accompanying the dead for burial, being devoted in prayer, and making peace among people. But the study of Torah encompasses them all. We begin to leave now the opening section of our service, Birchot HaShachar, the morning blessings. As you may have noticed, right, sort of getting ready for the day, our bodies, our souls, all of the things that happened to us this morning, and move into Psukei de Zimra, a section of Psalms praising God. On page 214, we find Psalm 92, a psalm that praises God especially for having created this very day, Shabbat. Mizmor Shir V'Yom HaShabbat.
Mizmor Shir Le'Yom HaShabbat, Tov Lehodot L'Adonai, U'lezamer L'Shimcha Elyon, U'lezamer L'Shimcha Elyon. Mizmor Shir Le'Yom HaShabbat, Tov Lehodot L'Adonai, U'lezamer L'Shimcha Elyon, U'lezamer L'Shimcha Elyon. Lehagid ba'avon erchastecha, ve'emunatecha ba'alelot, alei azor ba'alei novel, alei hikayon v'chilon. Mizmor Shir Le'Yom HaShabbat, Tov Lehodot L'Adonai, U'lezamer L'Shimcha Elyon, U'lezamer L'Shimcha Elyon, U'lezamer L'Shimcha Elyon.
Page 224, the Chatzi Kaddish.
Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, v'yamad yivarach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon u'v'yamechon Chayetecho Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala, Ba'agala, Uvizman Kariv, Ve'imiru, Amen. Yehi Shemei Rabba Mevorach, Le'alam Olamei Hamaya.
Yitbarach,
Yitbarach, V'yishtabach, V'yitpa'ar, V'yitramam, V'yitnaseh, V'yithadar, V'yitaleh, V'yithalal, Shemei Kudsha B'richu, Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, Tush b'chata v'nechemata, Damiran be'alma, ve'imiru, Amen.
Our call to prayer, the Baruch Hu, can be found on page 226. Please rise if you're able. Please be seated. We continue together on the top of page 229. In the beginning, even then, a new light was sown for the righteous, a promise that your light would become the catalyst, first for order and then for hope. Author of language and light, help us to use words as you have, to cast light into dark waters, and draw out justice and truth. Baruch atah Adonai, Yotzer HaMe'orot. And responsively on the top of page 231. Once or twice in a lifetime, a man or woman may choose a radical leaving, having heard, Lech Lecha, go forth.
God disturbs us toward our destiny by hard events and by freedom's now urgent voice, which explode and confirm who we are.
We don't like leaving, but God loves becoming.
Baruch atah Adonai, habocher be'amo Yisrael be'ahava.
Please rise once more, Shema, page 232.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Le'olam V'amen.
Please be seated.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol me'otecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Life without integrity is like loosely hanging threads, easily fraying from the main cloth. While in acts of piety we learn to understand that every instant is like a thread, raveling out of eternity to form a delicate tassel. We must not cast off the threads, but weave them into the design of an internal fabric. Each day points to eternity. The fate of all time depends upon a single moment. We continue responsively on the bottom of page 239. The eternal truth is that you alone are God and there is none else.
May the righteous of all nations rejoice in your love and exalt in your justice.
Let them beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks.
Let nation not lift up sword against nation, nor learn war anymore.
You shall not hate your brother or your sister in your heart.
The stranger that sojourns with you shall be accepted as your equal, for you were strangers in the land of Egypt.
Why do you crush my people and oppress the poor? Asked God.
We know that the Eternal One defends the poor and upholds the rights of the needy.
Praise to God Most High.
Blessed is God and deserving of blessing.
Page 240, our song of redemption, Mi Chamocha.
Ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la la ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la la ya la 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 ya la 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 la. Mi chamocha pa'elim Adonai, mi chamocha netav hakodesh, nora tehilot Seferle, nora tehilot Seferle. Shira chadasha shivchu geolim, v'shivcha asmat hayom. Yachad kulam hodu, v'himrichu ve'yameru, Adonai Yimloch le'olam va'ed. Adonai Yimloch le'olam va'ed. Ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la la ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la la ya la 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 ya la la la. So Yisrael, come be'ezrat Yisrael, ufedechinu mecha Yehuda ve'Yisrael. Go aleinu Adonai tzvaot shemo, kedosh Yisrael. Baruch atah Adonai, Ka'al Yisrael.
Beginning on page 242 is the Amidah, the central prayer of this morning's service. We will chant out loud together through page 248. However, this prayer continues through page 260. So when we're done chanting out loud together, you have options. You can continue in the Hebrew, or you can continue in the English, or if those words don't speak to you, take the next few minutes for your own personal private prayer, close your prayer book if you'd like. You can stay standing, you can have a seat, whatever it is you need to do to have your own personal prayer time. However, if you do remain standing, please have a seat once you're done so that we know we can continue together as one community. So again, beginning at 242, chanting out loud together through 248, and then silently through 260 in the Hebrew or English, or if those words don't speak to you, the words of your own heart. Please rise if you're able.
Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi yagi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avoteinu v'Imotenu Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'konei Hakol, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם למען שמו באהבה מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן ברוך אתה אדוני מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע, משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים. ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומיתו מלך מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה ונאמן אתה לחיות הכל ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל. נקדש את שמך בעולם, כשם שמקדישים אותו בשמי מרום, ככתוב על יד נביאך, וקרא זה אל זה ואמר, קדוש קדוש קדוש, אדוני צבאות, מלוך כל הארץ, כבודו. אדיר אדירנו אדוני אדוננו, מאדיר שמך בכל הארץ, ברוך כבוד אדוני ממקומו. אחד הוא אלוהינו, הוא אבינו, הוא מלכנו, הוא מושיענו והוא ישמיענו, ברחמיו לעיני כל חי. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, ימלוך אדוני לעולם, אלוהייך ציון, לדור ודור, הללויה. לדור ודור נגיד גודלך, ולנצח נצחים קדושתך נקדיש, ושבחך אלוהינו מפינו לא ימוש לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
Page 250, 250.
ישמחו ומלכותך שומרי 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 שבת וקוראי עונג שבת ישמחו ומלכותך שומרי 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 שבת וקוראי עונג שבת מקדשי שבי שבת כולם ישמעו ויתענגו מטובך שבת ישמחו במלכותך שומרי 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 שבת וקוראי עונג שבת ישמחו במלכותך שומרי 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 שבת וקוראי עונג שבת והשביעי רצית בו וקידשתו שבת חמדת ימים אותו קראת שבת ישמחו במלכותך שומרי 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 שבת וקוראי עונג שבת ישמחו במלכותך שומרי 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 שבת וקוראי עונג שבת זכר למעשה וראשית שבת זכר למעשה וראשית שבת ישמחו במלכותך שומרי 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 שבת וקוראי עונג שבת ישמחו במלכותך שומרי 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 שבת וקוראי עונג שבת
All right, Daniel. Just imagine there's chalk dust everywhere. You're on the rings, right? That's harder than this, I promise. We continue with Seder Kriyat Torah, the service for the reading of Torah on page 362. All right, Daniel, you have to come up now. And bring your parents with you, please. Please rise if you're able. Page 362.
אין כמוך ואלוהים אדוני ואין כמעשיך מלכותך מלכות כל עולמים וממשלתך בכל דור ודור אדוני מלך אדוני מלך אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד אדוני עוז לעמו ייתן אדוני יברך את עמו ושלום אב הרחמים היטיב ברצונך את ציון תבנה חומות ירושלים תבנה חומות ירושלים כי בך לבד בטחנו מלך אלרם ונישא אדון עולמים כי מציון תצא תורה כי מציון תצא תורה ודבר אדוני מירושלים ברוך שנתן תורה תורה ברוך שנתן תורה תורה לעמו ישראל בקדושתו.
And we'll head to the front of our bima and invite grandparents to join us as well. Daniel, if you'll come stand right in the middle, and your parents right next to you, and grandparents next to them. Right down here. So when our people stood at Sinai's foot, God said to them, the Midrash tells us, I have this teaching for you, but I'm not just going to give it to you. I need guarantors for it. And the people said, okay, that's easy, no problem. Our elders will be our guarantors for Torah. That's all of you. That's including you guys, because he's, yeah. And God says, no thank you. No, not for the sake of your elders will I give you this Torah. The people say, okay, if not for the sake of our elders, then our prophets will be our guarantors. And God says, no, not for the sake of your prophets either will I give you this Torah. And finally the people come back to God, they say, okay, if not for the sake of our elders and our prophets, then for our children will be our guarantors for this Torah. And God says, okay, for the sake of your children, I will give you this Torah. In a moment, we're going to pass this Torah, the 5 books of Moses, right, from one generation of your family to the next into your hands. And I want to clarify, the point here is not that they're handing it off to you and that now it's only yours. It's that they have continued to pass this to you for your entire life, and that now you hold some responsibility for it as well. And in fact, the sort of responsibility for it that you hold is one in which you can transmit to other people. That's why you're going to be carrying our Torah throughout this congregation in a moment. You can be the transmitter of knowledge. You can be the transmitter of teaching to others. Not only one who receives, but one who gives. Of course, in the last few months, there is a grandparent that is no longer with us, your mom's mother, Janice, who, even though is not here with us right now physically, of course, she also passed this Torah on to you, Daniel. She also passed her teachings to you, and they are a part of who you are, just as these teachings are in this scroll. All of the teachings of your family are a part of who you are, whether you know it or not. There are parts of who you are that come from generations long past even before your grandparents, that are part of who they are, that have been passed on to you. And so as we pass this Torah scroll, we pass all of that in a symbolic way, of course, from one generation of your family to the next.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo. Lecha Adonai HaGedula VeHaGevura VeHaTiferet VeHaNetzach VeHaHod Ki Cho B'Shamayim Uvaretz Ki Cho B'Shamayim Uvaretz Lecha Adonai Hamamlacha V'yamid Naseh Lechol Erosh Al Shlosha Devarim Al Shlosha Devarim Al Shlosha Devarim Ha'olam Omed Al Shlosha Devarim Al Shlosha Devarim Al Shlosha Devarim Ha'olam Omed Al HaTorah Ve'al HaAvodah Ve'al Gemilut Chasadim Al HaTorah Ve'al HaAvodah Ve'al Gemilut Chasadim Al Shlosha Devarim Al Shlosha Devarim Al Shlosha Devarim Ha'olam Omed Al Shlosha Devarim Al Shlosha Devarim Al Shlosha Devarim Ha'olam Omed.
We invite Lila and Ethan Siegel to our bima to undress our Torah.
Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah.
Please be seated. Thank you. In your handout, There's a loose piece of paper. You can follow along with the aliyot, with the sections of Torah that Daniel will be reading this morning. We are picking up actually sort of near the end of this week's Torah portion. We are in the second to last Torah portion of the book of Genesis. Through the longest narrative of the book of Genesis, the Joseph narrative. He has Joseph has just revealed to his brothers, who had been down in Egypt now twice, that he was actually Joseph. They thought he was just some government official, the second in command, but still a government official from Egypt, because he had been sold down into Egypt by his brothers many years before, and they didn't recognize him, and he was testing them to make sure that had become better people. He reveals himself to his brothers, and they go back and tell their father Jacob that Joseph is actually still alive, and Jacob is overwhelmed and heads down immediately to Egypt to be reunited with his son, and that's sort of where we're picking up in the Torah portion. So at Genesis 45, and then we'll Exodus is coming. I can feel it. Yes. It's right around the corner. Redemption. We'll see.
I would say that sounds exciting, but haltingly.
Yeah.
Are we ready?
I think so.
Ya'amdu, Ruth Siegel, Bob Smith, and Art and Betty Siegel, Aliyah Harishona.
Baruch hu et Adonai Hamorach. Baruch Adonai Hamorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch Adonai Hamorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu es Toraso. Baruch atah Adonai Nosein HaTorah.
Amen. Vaya'alu mimitzrayim, vayavo'u eretz Canaan al Yaakov avihem. Vayagidu lo lemor od Yosef chai, v'chihu Moshel b'chol eretz Mitzrayim, vayafog libo ki lo ha'amin lahem. Vayadabru elav et kol divrei Yosef asher diber alehem. Vayar et ha-agalot asher shalach Yosef laseit oto vatchi ruach Yaakov avihem. Vayomer Yisrael rav od Yosef bani chai el chaver enu b'terem amut.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emes v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah. Amen.
Ya'amdu, Judy Smith and Jake Siegel, Aliyah Hashniya.
Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamvarach.
Baruch Adonai Hamarach Leolam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Vaisa Yisrael v'chol asher lo vayavo ba'era shava vayizbach zivachim lelohei aviv Yitzchak vayomer Elohim liYisrael b'marot halayla vayomer Yaakov vayomer hineni vayomer anochi ha'el Elohei avicha al tira merda mitzrayma ki lagoy gadol asimcha sham Anochi ered imcha mitzrayma va'anochi alcha gamalo v'Yosef yashit yado alenecha.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Hold on one second. So I noticed that your the yad got attached to your jacket there. That must mean something, right? That you become attached to Torah reading. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. There we go. Okay. Very good. This is always for me a really special moment in the service because it signifies the transition that has been going on for a while, of course, but ritually this is the moment of transition because you've been reading Torah first for your grandparents and then your parents, and in some communities that's something that kids do at very young ages. They don't need to be a bar bat mitzvah in order to read Torah, but you do need to be a bar bat mitzvah in order to say the blessing over Torah. And that's, I think, a really interesting concept, that it's the act of blessing, of sanctifying the moment, that one can only do when they're sort of at the proper moment in life. That maybe as a younger person, to say off of this blessing just wouldn't mean as much. I think that teaches us something about life in general. That you may find that there are things that you've been doing all of your life, that one day you'll realize, you know what, this moment in particular is something sacred, is something different, is something special. And in those moments I encourage you to stop and say a blessing. Whether it's the words of our tradition, right? We said the Shechianu earlier together. Whether it's the words of our tradition or the words of your own hearts. Stop and say thank you. Stop and say wow. Just stop and appreciate what's happening in your life. It's an important thing to do. It'll make your life sweeter. It'll make your life more meaningful, I promise. So we're going to say the blessings over the Torah, but before you say those blessings, you have to get called up to Torah. And I'm going to move this because it's... There we go. Okay. Before you get called up to Torah, before you read Torah and say the blessings, the cantor is going to call you up in a special way. This is the only time you'll hear yourself called to Torah this way, okay? So listen really closely. One-time deal. Okay.
You ready?
Yeah, sure.
Ya'amod, 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 habachor bar hamitzvah, Daniel Yir'on ben Yaakov Tov Yehudit, la'aliyah hashalishit.
Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamvarach.
Baruch Adonai Habarach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamavrach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Asher Bachar Banu Mikol Hamim V'natan Lanu Et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen.
Vayakom Yaakov mi Be'er Shava, Vayisuv b'nei Yisrael et Yaakov Avihem, V'tapam v'neshehem ba'agalot, Asher shalach Paro laseit oto, Vayikchu et miknehem, V'trechusham asher rachshu ba'eretz Canaan, Vayavo'u mitzrayma Yaakov v'chol ito, V'nav uvnei, V'nav ito b'notav, Unot banav v'chol zaro, hevi ito mitzrayma. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torat emet, v'chayei olam nata betochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Okay, so you've said words of blessing. Now your parents get to offer you a blessing, okay?
Daniel, we are so proud of you today. You've worked hard to make this day happen, and not always without frustration. Just like in your Devar Torah, where you talked about how actions speak louder than words, we are proud of your dedication to actions that helped you achieve your goals. Though this is our time to provide a blessing for you, we want you to know that we have always felt that you are our greatest blessing and that we love you very much. Throughout your life, you have been someone who has had an understanding of and tremendous insight into people. You make us laugh and help us see things in ourselves. You let us get away with little, and you keep us honest. You have an interest in the people around you, and you help create and build community. You are successful at this, and we see this through your relationships with your family, your friends at school, and your gymnastics team. You value your family and friends greatly. These qualities will serve you well, so our first blessing for you is for your path in life to bring you a lifetime of strong relationships and happiness, and that you draw strength from your community and use your ability to understand people to make the world a better place.
Another blessing for you is that you trust yourself and trust your heart when you are faced with decisions and choices. Be confident in your ability to know what is right, and that you will know what to do. There is rarely a secret right answer, and it's okay to be wrong. We want to bless you with things we already see in you. The perseverance to push through frustration and challenging times, even as the best athletes get nervous. And when you trust yourself, you will always be supported by the love of those around you, including us. We love you very much.
Our service continues on page 370, and we invite to our bima to lift and dress our Torah, Margie and David Rubin, David Siegel, and John Siegel. Please rise if you're able.
V'zot Torah asher sa Moshe livnei bnei Yisrael al pi Adonai beyad Moshe. Yai lai 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 lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai 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 lai lai lai,
Please be seated. We now continue with a section from the Haftarah from the book of Ezekiel. It can be found on the back of that loose sheet of paper you were just looking at with the Torah. The Haftarah almost always comes from the book of one of the prophets and is related somehow to a part of the theme from the weekly Torah portion. So the game is always to figure out what's the connection between the Haftarah and the Torah. Daniel will be chanting a blessing before reading the Haftarah, then he'll chant the Haftarah, this section on the piece of paper, and then he'll chant the blessing after as well.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar b'nvi'im tovim ratzav v'divreihem Hanaemarim be'emet Baruch atah Adonai habocher b'torah u'Moshe avdo u'Yisrael amo u'v'nvi'ei ha'emet v'atzedek.
Amen.
Vayehi davar Adonai elai le'emor v'ata ben adam kach lecha eitz echad uchtov alav lihuda v'livnei Yisrael Chaverav ulkach eitz echad uchtov alav liyosef eitz Ephraim v'chol beit Yisrael Chaverav v'karav otam echad el echad lecha leitz echad v'hayu la'achadim biyadecha v'cha asher yomru elecha b'nei amcha lemor halo tagid lanu ma'elelach daber alehem ko'amar Adonai Elohim hine ani lokeach et eitz Yosef asher biad Ephraim v'shiftei Yisrael Chaverav v'natati otam alav et eitz Yehuda v'asitim le'etz echad v'hayu echad beyadi. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam tzor kol haolamim tzadik b'chol hadorot ha'el ha'ne'eman ha'omer v'oseh hamdaber u'mkayem shekol devrav emet v'tzedek al ha'torah v'al ha'avodah v'al hanvi'im v'ayom ha'shabbat hazeh shenatata lanu Adonai Eloheinu liktishav limnicha lechavod u'ltifaret al hakol Adonai Eloheinu Anachnu modim lach umvarchim otach yitbarach shimcha b'fi kol chai tamid le'olam va'ed Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh ha'shabbat.
Amen. Hold on a second, don't go anywhere. To open our ark for to return our Torah, we invite Max and Jeremy Faithy. Please rise if you're able.
Odo al eretz v'shamayim vayarem kerem le'amo tehila lechol chasidav livnei Yisrael am kerovo. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Etz chayimi lama chazikima v'tomecheha meyushar deracheha darchei noam v'chol netivoteha shalom. Hashivenu Adonai elecha v'nashuva Chadesh, Chadesh Yameinu, Chadesh Yameinu kekedem.
So we ask our students, as of course you've just seen, to read Torah and Haftarah, and it takes them months to prepare for those things, because reading Torah is not an easy thing to do. Even if you do it with some regularity, it takes a good deal of time to prepare it. For those of you that don't know, the Torah scroll is columns of consonants. Hebrew doesn't have vowels in it, written in it, at least traditionally, and no punctuation, no capitalization, nothing like that. So depending on how good the scribe is, sometimes words can mush up against the word next to it, and it's hard to decipher one word from the other. That happens sometimes in the Torah scroll. So it's not an easy task to read Torah. And even so, I think one of the hardest things that we ask our students to do is to engage the text in a synthesis of their own experience, of our students' own experience in life, and what they're reading in the text itself, in this document that's some 3,500 years old. That we asked them to say, what's this got to do with me in nearly 2019? What's this got to do with all of us so many years after it has been written? And I think, Daniel, that this is, in fact, one of the reasons that we Jews are still around, because we tend not to be originalists in nature when it comes to the Torah text. We see it as a living document. Yes, we try to understand its original intent sometimes, but we also are willing to say, okay, that's how maybe our ancestors understood this, but here's what I think it should mean for us right now, right here. And this Devar Torah is your offering to not only us, but to all of Jewish tradition. This is how you become a chain in the tradition of Judaism, by offering an interpretation of our Torah. It is what keeps us fresh. So keep it fresh, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. My Torah portion is Vayegash. This parsha is about Joseph in Egypt after he becomes high up in the ruling system. If you recall, Joseph finds himself in Egypt after being left for dead by his brothers many years before. Specifically, it's about when his brothers come to him to ask for food because there's a famine throughout the land. Joseph recognizes his brothers when Judah tells him about their family, although Joseph doesn't say it at first. This Torah portion describes the events and interactions between the brothers and Joseph. In this parsha, Joseph tests his brothers to see if they learned their lesson. Joseph wants to know, will his brothers sacrifice another brother? Will they make the same mistake? He frames Benjamin, the youngest brother, for stealing something and see how his other brothers react. Judah steps forward and says that he'll take the punishment instead of Benjamin, which backs up his statement that he's sorry. It shows that he learned his lesson. Joseph also gives his brothers money, clothes, and food. However, he gives Benjamin more than all of the others. He does this to see if they had learned from their past mistakes to try to make them jealous of Benjamin. They don't get jealous. The main idea of this section of Vayegash is that talk is cheap. Actions speak louder than words. Joseph wants to know if they really learned anything from past mistakes, so he tests them with various things. After Judah volunteers to stay in Egypt instead of Benjamin, shows that he learned his lesson and really backed up his apology with actions. This is a lesson that I think is important to us, even today. We all make mistakes. Each one of us has done something wrong in life, and we probably apologize for it. The way to show that we really changed after we make a mistake is by proving it, not just saying it. It makes it easier to believe that we've changed after we show it. We need to back up our words. This lesson doesn't just apply to apologies, though. It can be put into many different contexts. One example is success or being successful. Everyone wants to be rich and famous, but nobody wants to back it up and do the work to get there. I saw a video of an actor that said that he had people coming up to him every day telling him that they wanted to be actors like him. He said that he knew most of them were lying because anyone can say something, but people need to back it up. He knew that most of the people weren't going to do all of the work to get there. Another example of this is life in general. For example, it's easy to say you want to be a doctor or nurse, but that's completely different from actually doing everything that needs to be done to become one of them. It's the same thing with sports. If you wanted to be a professional soccer player, for example, you could say that you wanted to go to the World Cup, but it's different from training thousands and thousands of hours to get there. Even this bar mitzvah service is an example of this for me. I said I wanted to have a bar mitzvah, but I wasn't really sure if it was going to happen until I started working at it, learning Torah trope and Hebrew. This made me realize that saying you'll do it doesn't mean anything until you put the work into it. We must always back up what we say, from apologies to goals that we have, with action. For me, this means after I set a goal, I'll put the work into it. If there's something you want to do, if there's something you want to change, after you say what you want to do, back it up with actions. Take a moment right now and think of something that you want to do. And take a first step. Take an action you can do to get towards your goal. Joseph had truly forgiven his brothers when they proved that they had changed. After his brothers apologized, they showed that they wouldn't make the same mistake over again. Our actions show who we really are. We need to take a step if we want to change or accomplish something. Talk is cheap. Shabbat Shalom. All right.
Yes. So, one of the things that I really love about your Devar Torah is how many different examples you give us. And I think for me, as I listened to you and as we worked on this together, it became clear that what you were talking about was not just about Joseph or about you and your own experience in life, and not something that just a young teenager experiences, but I'll be honest with you, adults have the exact same issues that you're raising here. That we also struggle with action. Most of us know that we have to come to action eventually, but getting there is sometimes difficult for people. And your reminder that it is that action that is most important is an important reminder at any age for all of us gathered here. So thank you for pulling that out of this week's Torah portion. And it is actually also a very classical read on the Torah portion. Our commentators look at this situation with Joseph and his brothers as tshuva, as an example of being in the same situation and acting differently, just as you mentioned to us earlier. And they use this example as proof for the fact that change is possible, as we saw in particular in this week's Torah portion with Judah. So thank you for raising that for us and for continuing to encourage us to act, to not just say that we'll do something, but to really step forward and do it. So there is from our board of trustees, our VP of Religious Education, Jack Zients, who's here to offer you some words and some gifts too from the congregation. The words are good, but the gifts are the actions.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Hey, Daniel. So, Jack Zients, I'm a member of the Board of Trustees. I'm the Vice President for Religious Practice. I also have the great privilege of being Daniel's teacher this year in religious school. On the behalf of the board, on behalf of the congregation, I want to be the first person to congratulate you. So you did a marvelous job. We have a few things to give you. The first and most important is your bar mitzvah certificate. You got it. You did it. From the Brotherhood and the Sisterhood, from the Sisterhood we have the gift of a Kiddush cup, and from the Brotherhood a mezuzah cover. Also from the Union from Reformed Judaism, a gift certificate that will help you go on a nifty trip to Israel. Their information both for the Nifty Israel Summer Program and for Heller High. There are two different programs you could possibly do. But that is it. Congratulations. You did a wonderful job.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, sir. So we'll just put it over. We'll leave it there for a moment. But before you head back down to sit with your parents, a blessing in front of our ark. Please rise if you're able.
May you live to see your world fulfilled. May your destiny be for worlds still to come. May you trust in generations past and yet to be. May you live to see your world fulfilled. May your eyes shine with the light of holy words, and your face reflect the brightness of the heavens. May your lips ever speak wisdom, your fulfillment be in justice, even as you ever yearn to listen to the words of the Holy Ancient One of old. May you live to see your world. May you live to see your world. May you live to see your world fulfilled.
It's my honor to give you the oldest blessing in the Jewish tradition, the priestly benediction. Yivarechacha Adonai v'yishmerecha, Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yichuneka, Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May God bless you and keep you. May God's light shine upon you, and may God be gracious to you. And when God's face is lifted up to you, may God grant you the most important blessing any of us can have. May God grant you peace. Ken yehi ratzon. May this be God's will.
Amen.
Close the ark. And you can go sit back down with your parents.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Please be seated. Page 376. O guardian of life and liberty, may our nation always merit your protection. Teach us to give thanks for what we have by sharing it with those who are in need. Keep our eyes open to the wonders of creation and alert to the care of the earth. May we never be lazy in the work of peace. May we honor those who have died in defense of our ideals. Grant our leaders wisdom and forbearance. May they govern with justice and compassion. Help us all to appreciate one another and to respect the many ways that we may serve you. May our homes be safe from affliction and strife, and our country be sound in body and spirit.
Amen.
Avinu shebashamayim tzur Yisrael v'goalo, barech et medinat Yisrael, reshit tzmichat geulatenu. O Heavenly One, Protector and Redeemer of Israel, bless the state of Israel, which marks the dawning of hope for all who seek peace. Shield it beneath the wings of your love, spread over it the canopy of your peace. Send your light and truth to all who lead and advise, guiding them with your good counsel. Establish peace in the land and fullness of joy for all who dwell there.
Amen.
Our service continues on page 586 with Aleinu. We invite Zachary and Jake Rubin to our bima to open our ark once more. Please rise once more if you're able.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, שלא עשינו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגור עלינו ככל המולון. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא.
Page 591.
ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
Thank you. Please be seated. When I die, give what's left of me away to children and old men that wait to die. And if you need to cry, cry for your brother walking the street beside you. And when you need me, put your arms around anyone and give them what you need to give me. I want to leave you something better than words or sounds. Look for me in the people I've known or loved. And if you cannot give me away, at least let me live in your eyes and not in your mind. You can love me best by letting hands touch hands and by letting go of children that need to be free. Love doesn't die, people do. So when all that's left of me is love, give me away. We are in the period of Shloshim, the first 30 days of mourning for Susie Rafel, Eileen Rothenberg, Paulina Motova, and Martha Kimball. Our yahrzeits this week are for Blanche Belzer, Patricia Barokas, Bernard Brower, Abraham Rochstein, Ellis Brownstein, Edith Birchman, Inga Cantor-Clausen, Sadie Eisen, Morton Eisenberg, Samuel Fetterman, Julius Fetterman, Nathan Fink, Pauline Gainey, Esther Gitterman, Omas Hirschbein, Barbara Kaplan, Estelle Klein, Ruth Klunover, Bobby Colwyn, Rita Levine, Aaron Lipset, Sylvia Neff, Harold Rayberg, Jerry Rudd, David Sack, Gail Saney, Sadie Silbershine, Dorothy Silverman, Lucille Spring, Samuel Taubman, Lola Taubman, Richard Vermeulen, and Estera Zekic. Also Janice Smith. If there are other names to be added to our list for mourning, Please do so as my eyes meet yours. For all of those mentioned, for all of those who go unmentioned, and for all of those who have no one to say Kaddish for them, we rise, page 598. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, ve'amad yivarach chiyotei ve'yamlich malchutei, ve'chayechon u'vyomechon u'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, v'agala v'zman kariv v'yimru amen. Yehei shemei Rabbah mivarach ve'olam olamei almaya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shemei l'kudashah b'richu ve'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'miran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shalama Rabbah min shemaya v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'romav Hu Yaseh Shalom Aleinu ve'al Kol Yisrael V'imru Amen.
Oseh Shalom b'imromav Hu Yaseh Shalom Aleinu ve'al Kol Yisrael
Zichronam Livracha, may their memories be forever a blessing.
Amen.
Please be seated. Except for you, Daniel, and your parents, come back up to the bima. We're going to hang out right up here, right in the front, as the cantor grabs our wine and challah. Looks like homemade challah. All right. Very nice.
Give it to Daniel. That's okay. It's an opportunity. Well, first we say it. Remember the rabbi said we always say blessing? Here's an opportunity again for blessing. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Borei peri hagafen l'chaim. You can pass it to your parents who hopefully will make a nicer face. And Daniel, here, I'll give you this beautiful challah to hold. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz b'tei avon. So we're going to take a little bit of challah up here to complete our blessing, but we'll look forward to seeing everyone in the social hall as we celebrate this wonderful morning together.
Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel ve'imru amen. May the one who makes peace in the heavens above make peace for all of us, for all of Israel, for everyone who dwells here on earth. And let us say amen.
Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel ve'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel ve'imru
to Daniel.
Mazel tov.
As we exit our sanctuary, if you'd please take your Sidurim, your prayer books with you. It'll make the lives of our ushers a lot easier. And we're going to the social hall. See you in the social hall. Oh, please. Thank you. Mazel tov. Thank you. Thank you very much. Mazel tov to you.